Yeah, maybe. Hello? Hello? What you gonna do? Yeah, mate. Hello? How you, mate? What's up? Hey? Oh, that's interesting. He just got... Our other magpie just gave him a something and went off after apparently, yeah, here's my paragoose. After some other birds. It didn't like what he had to say, I don't know. I'd say I'm 3 inception layers deep screen-wise. Screen onto a screen of my recording the screen of what at the time was a fairly strange and, I would say obvious, some sort of shapey magpie skit display or something along those lines. It's rather difficult to describe or necessarily say in a way that makes sense within the framework we've been given, which is an interesting frame in a sense, in the sense that, well, we've been given one very small frame, and things that frequently come near me are, either side, both sides, the other side, they haven't seen a frame. You can't put them, can't be framed, because it's difficult to even talk about them because it's a challenge. Because it's outside the box, outside the workings of the frame that a lot of us were given or we got somehow by the things we'd seen, and a lot of those things maybe were brought to us on TV or delivered in a way, perhaps sincerely so, or in such a way that those teaching it didn't even know that it was nonsense. And look, I said a number of times, I'd rather know, don't comfort me with a lie, I'd rather know the truth, even if it's a difficult truth. Explaining it, well, don't always get a choice in these things, and maybe you do, and then it's my choice now to do this here for you, no, for me. I just want to share. I've been not wanting to share this little bugger or situation. Maybe it's likely it's just it's a wonderful stepping stone that help us find our way through out of the confusion and onto another, no doubt, something in an endless line of illusions that keeps popping in front of the screen or in front of mine when I'm there or whatnot. All right, I'm just trying to stop the rhymathon. Did this? I'll show the actual thing, because I even filmed this on my phone the other day. It's really to prompt me to do something about it, because I had been ignoring him. This is a few weeks back. I'd had my fill of magpies doing, funny things. This is not a Murray magpie. This is more like Michael, the first of the synthetic sounding magpies that came my way, seeking attention, and got it in its own way. I've mentioned with the shapey scenes, that often there'll be a lot, it's something very crafty that's playing a trick, let's say. It's not a hypothesis that's backed up by, um, a continual stream of evidential, uh, uh, not on top of us. No, I was trying to say not this again, on top of it, it doesn't matter. Um, is it like, that some a line will be precise in the foreground and the background. Just happened to be coincidentally, it would seem. It's just your eyes playing a trick that line just looks like it's that, but also is consistently in the background as well as being in the foreground, as in part of the crafty shape show we're being given, or we would our eyes are set in such a way that we'd perceive it to be really there and happening as the little thing in front of us, but rather being perhaps maybe a collection of things playing, doing things. But for example, again, I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but it's one of the things. And okay, let's just check how far. I just put it at 3% speed. What I was thinking in real time, I thought, there's that bloody thing I've been talking about. What's it, 8 seconds in? It says, well, I'll just come back here. I don't know. So I'm moving about. This is me with my mobile phone camera in the city. I'll show the actual thing in live, whatever real speed. And the magpie acted strange. Just it was like what, like a little. It just did it in front of me, like it was a little. Just get attention. Whether it's like it's just bait. Maybe they're just Archon bait, and then someone like me just takes that readily. Others will be like, oh, I didn't see anything. What? Oh, they'll walk away, or others trouble them. Maybe others don't know, whatever. Maybe there are no others. It's just me and a whole lot of animatron fellows that used to be brothers, but then they fell over or something happened and something else jumped in and took them over, and now it's just me going, wow, did everyone else die? Do you ever feel like you're the only one that hasn't died? I said this to my mate actually. Oh fuck, I says to add so I just about to come back after just going back to his missus for a while, cycle, let me not get into all that. And he was having a chat, I said, and this is quite a normal thing for me to say like, but as I was thinking in his face, I was like, I don't think he ever had that thought, because he said some weird whack thing about what's going on now about the growing babies in bloody synthetic things, something that gets reported, and it was just something that's messed up, but it's the type of thing that seemingly goes on these days. And I can remember saying, because obviously I've been thinking about it, I was like, do you ever feel like, or like you've died, or everyone else died, and you're the last one here? They're just playing tricks on you, like you're the last one feeding. I can't remember specifically what I said, but it was along those lines, and it was ironically rather a truthful event, that questioning, mostly rhetorically, that I ventured in on a sad as it is, truth telling, meant for not just him, the bug I was talking to, but anyone. I'm trying to do it all the time. You think it's easy? I thought, because I was always telling the truth. When I started just being like, I'm just gonna tell it. There's no reason for any lies to be told. And what you learn when you really start doing it, it's like it's people's feelings that get hurt when you tell them the truth. That was the bit I had trouble with. I'm like, I could tell it was hurting people's feelings. Some people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the fucking truth. And I was at a stage where I was like, am I like that? Someone's, perhaps it just depends on how it's being told, but and I think it is a lot to do with that. Perhaps I've rambled off on some other tangent that was, equally valid and, worth its own ramble-a-thon, but because it's difficult to talk about this little thing. And I know I rambled off from the point I was about to explain, or had started to. I was still explaining it, you see. That's the thing. I hope you're still with me, and if you're not, it's okay. You probably don't hear my apology, but it doesn't matter. You're out the way. Those that are still with me, much love, appreciate it. I'm just describing what I'm seeing. Let's not, overstate it. But this bit here, I'll go back to the beginning. Yeah. And I will put it on normal time. It's just that I was annoyed at myself by the end of like filming this screen, taking pictures of the magpie. Like going, fucking hell. I was like, part of me rambling at me, telling myself off for being so silly, wasting my time. What are you doing? Fucking wasting, filming off the thing. Because then I'll go to review things that I've like transferred across, and I'll get annoyed at myself because it'd be like footage that doesn't, you can't use that, blah blah. But the reason I did it at the time and put up with myself, moaning at myself at the time, and this time, 3 levels, layers deep and more, still pointing a screenless screen, wondering partly what for. Well, I know what for. This bit here, right? It's now going to seem like no, but can you see how like this? Now I'm moving. If pretend this is his fucking wing. That's what's meant to be the show. Oh, now I'm missing the thing. I'm getting it with the mouse, but I'm missing it with this one in my hand. It's not a mouse. Don't think. Could mean sometimes maybe. This bit. Oh, you can see the mouse. Anyhow, that bit. I just noticed before how it was like. It just stays like it. Say this. Let's just say it's a point there. It's this line, and this line, like that's part of it, right? But that just happened. I know I'm moving the bloody phone around because I'm just, merrily taking a stroll through an area I hadn't seen, wanting to have a little look at what I thought was a tunnel type thing I'd gleaned, but turned out to be some other nonsense. And now it turns out I was dragged in there to film this bloody thing. And it's a anyhow, just very briefly, this bit here. I had just noticed that even though I'm moving about, like how it just stays the same. But there's lots of cool things in here. Like, for example, there's a little love heart, right? And there's lots of things that look like that really are like symbols and letters and things. And that's nothing to be, concerned about. It's actually something quite cool. Ages ago, I was like, I would like to see a little love heart and everything that I get. And it happened. It still happens. In fact, invariably, there's evidence of that. I've got like light lamps as well, like little love hearts. I'll be there. It is. It's great. It's fantastic, and there's another thing here that encouraged me to pull this damn thing out and do this part, or at least just add to the whatever collected so far, because you'll notice the flashing. Maybe you won't. I'll point it out. That may not make any difference. You might also notice that this looks like a strange. Like, I'm trying to hold back from saying all the things. Some of the things, believe it or not. I mean, life's like that when you've got what I've got. But yeah, you could look at this thing and forgetting it was a magpie, or pretending to be, or roughly the shape of, and acting as one we thought we would see. It's more like a collection of little things, little shapes, or little things being other things, and they're very well coordinated, and they put on a pretty bloody good magpie show, and other things. Men and women, they do versions of them. I mean, like most of them, to me, they stand out, but that's me. There might be other colours flashing. There might be like there might be the interesting light around them, like I've referenced before. It looks like a bit like that to me. But this flashing, and this could just be me pulling a silver lining out of what others may be certain is a cloud, and they could be right about that at the end of the day, or wrong. Will it matter then what we found? Well, I suppose it will when you're like, thank goodness you pointed out that silver lining. Bloody, I've been listening to people say that clouds are bad, and that the weather happens to us and it rains on us and it sucks. Thank goodness that you actually pointed out that this was a silver lining to the cloud, because now we've taken control of our dream and we're having a great time. Awesome. It could be like that. I don't know. I'm just hypothesising here, guessing. See the flashing? Well, I'm supposing this because I'm outside here. It's during the night, like not quite lunchtime. I can check the thing, but it's what it was. That flashing, right? And sometimes it'll come out as like rainbow, like rainbow colours, flashing, like okay, that from the sun, different things. Mighty Mint's footage when she just looked at she sent me some footage she had of a strange scene in a car park, which was a shapey, and we just slowed it down, and all I did was slow it down, nothing else. Like this is slowed down because it was at night. And you said it's easy to see it at night, but You see the letters here? It's like the grass is like alphabet soup. I've got a whole thing I need to make or like to make on that, which, again, you could argue is a silver lining, but it's a bloody qualified one and one I'm happy to and here to continue be living as in vibing, which is, and I'll get into that another time, how the symbols and what people, what I've at least, what I see and what others have said they've seen in regards to things that look like hieroglyphs and that type of symbology and nature and things around us, what it actually is. But I'm trying to get not off this track. The tracks they're all they're merged in a way, but what's it? Here goes green, like you're looking through the magpie, like the bum is not there, and you're actually looking at the colour of the grass on the other side. Or up here on the back, where it's like an eye of another little crafty thing, it'll be blue instead of black, right? Or what? It's things like that, but they're difficult. They're extremely difficult for me even to pick with my naked eye. It's like over time, the behaviour of certain things and some of the experiences and whatnot, and then looking at things like this, for example, slowed down or with benefit of hindsight, and the camera's ability to see a tiny bit of infrared light, which we don't really see with our eyes. We don't see it with our eyes. It's outside of our wavelength, or so they've said in earlier times that I've heard. I'm starting to think, well, maybe they don't, but I do. I do. He has been balanced there. Oh, and yeah, he hasn't fallen completely because I put another. I'm not gonna. I'll be losing track, and it's just good timing. Um, yeah. So perhaps they don't, or ones that are, one I'm supposed to be don't see infrared light. But well, I think there's perhaps a number of things I've been told that we don't do, which seems that I can do. I think the only thing holding me back was that I was told I couldn't. In fact, and continues to be the case. You know, snowballing, becoming increasingly a thought or notion compact in the action of continual impaction happening. Yes, even now it seems like Rambly Man pointing his screen at another screen and talking about something weird found out somehow or didn't. Is probably the thing I was attempting to distract part of my mind with, so I could get back to talking about this weird freaking magpie again this time. Different magpie. I mean, I don't know. There could just be another whatever. Don't know. But there's lots going on, right? And I've said a number of times now, the physical is tricky. It's made up of lots of non-physical. There's lots that we don't know. Lots I don't know about life. I've learned lots more. I learn the more there is to learn. That's exciting. That's good, I think. Don't take my tone as anything there. I'm just trying to force myself to get through this. Yeah, I'll just play the rest of the thing anyway. And I'll just chuck it. Yeah, I'll just chuck it in. But it's a similar situation to the wattlebird thing in the backyard. At first, I thought, oh, it was like a fake magpie, like an animatron that's gone had a moment. It was all like, yeah, you'll see. I'll do it. I'll put it on. Very unnatural, very freaking weird. There was like the other magpie came in to fuck it up. Oh, get that shit out of it. Like, and when I first looked at it, that seemed to be the case. And then I slowed it right down. I was like, oh no, hang on, both magpies perhaps are, maybe our old collections of things, but really something different to what we would expect. And it was just the behaviour of the first magpie, as in this one. I kind of just lost my track then. It was the behaviour of the first one that had me going, he's definitely dodge. And then when I slowed it down, it's like, oh, hang on, they're both like putting on some sort of a show. Like, it's difficult to explain. And then by the time I did this little thing, not now, but this thing that just yesterday, the other day, this part, which is this is a screen recording a screen. I'm now, as I said at the beginning, recording this screen, which is a screen recording of a screen. I'm recording. Yeah, I'm just tangled myself up. When I looked at it later, I was like, oh, you know, it's just the first magpie's dodge. Second magpie that comes flying in, no, he's cool because he looks like he holds it all together. He looks like a pretty cool, tough, real magpie. It didn't look like he was falling apart and there's a collection of things going, oh, fuck, could they have different eyes and, you know, the heads in the bum and things like that. It's very strange. I know if you've just heard that or you come upon someone saying such, yeah, maybe silly sounding things, describing what I see in front of me, and it's different to the other magpies I'd gleaned, seen, seen at other earlier times. I got off track part way. Could be for no reason. Oh, okay. Mighty Mint sent me the thing, and yeah, and I think, and when I slowed it down, it was like, yeah, she had the rainbow things going on as well, and I get that. You know, lots of people get that, and I'd been, I think I said it that thing, or I can't remember if it was in a comment or I said it in an email, whatever. I've said it a number of times. It's been my suspicion that we're creating the whole show around us. It's been my suspicion the entire time. And that had been slightly behind, you know, but it still had been mine, and it's just been created through the subconscious and those I'm connected to in a collected consciousness type way, usually with a big gap in between full of nonsense, I say, or have been saying, and that is the case, but those gaps are getting less, and the, you know, while the nonsense can be seem like there's waves of it that can look like really massive bloody waves, I think they're coming in sets now, and just knowing that there's some others on there that are having their dreams and that we're, you know, inevitably going to cross in the near future and have started to, I would. Well, apparently that's 20 minutes of rambling on, so I'm going to just tighten this up quickly. Well, with Mighty Mint's Shapey. Perhaps if I put this in the thing, I'll put a link to that. I said I'm still not. I'm holding on to. I was holding on to the. I can't remember what I said. The hope that we just, and that we're creating the whole thing, and it's like it's our perceptions that perhaps are painting the scene in many ways as it's happening there in front of us, as if it's on a screen, yet we just can't really tell it's a screen. We're walking through, it's popping up. I said something recently, the ether's just popping these things out. Um, Perhaps this is evidence of that in one respect, in the fact that you know, when the line doesn't change and the, you know, things that have happened in the game continue to go on in a certain way because it was getting a reaction from me. Um, you know, and that's perhaps, you know, it's a hypothesis one I've been running with. It's been running on in the background, in the foreground, in old grounds, um, above and below that I've been involved in. It's like, well, doesn't look that way as you're walking through it. That's how incredible the ride is. Um, but it's all, you know, it is almost, but it's getting in many ways, or yeah, it's getting closer to the 0 point, or struggling as much as finding it easier to find a way to say what I'm trying to say, which is, well, yeah, mate, like those things when you hit a golf ball, it's like, yeah, like it doesn't explain it well. Those video games or something. Maybe I don't know. I've got this concept in my head. Again, as I'm recalling, it's one of the things Org spoke of, so I'm ripping Org off again. But it did describe when he said it. It was like it described what I'd already seen. I was noticing that with the sun and that. When I first started trying to work things, I was like, but I didn't feel comfortable. I was just saying what I saw. I was calling projected sunsets, because that's what I was like. This is how I'm seeing the dude behind everything else. That's how it is. That's all good. Um, you know, it's, yeah, and that's why it's not outer space; it's inner space, and yeah, things. Well, actually, it was they always tell us that the universe is supposed to be expanding, isn't it? Expanding forever. It's been got it, which is, you know, well, okay, perfect. It's just like a lot of other things I've come to learn, come to know myself. Just take the opposite of what we've been told. It's pretty well, it's the truth. So it's not getting bigger; it's coming in. All right, and it's starting to be more obvious looking at these things a little closer from right here where, you know, where I'm supposed to. Not worrying about, I'm not thinking about going out to the, looking, I mean, I look at the stars, but to me, they get close. To me, everything's been getting closer for me. Real deal. And perhaps this is more of that. Um, and I'm, yeah, going with it at this point and, yeah, sharing it, in fact, on the basis that, yeah, it was, well, yeah, it's, I think yeah, it's reasonable and it will, yeah, it makes sense and will help, I'm sure, others that, you know, have their own. Mine are where reasonable common sense, being, yeah, yeah. Alright, I was going to say it quickly. I don't even know if I quite got there. But I'm not saying, well, I'm trying. I said on the Milli Vanilli thing, and it's like, well, you know, and that's perhaps when I talk about the little meanings, it's like, all right, well, I'm thinking like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, well, it's a collection of little things, pulling tricks, right? But perhaps that's the nature of, you know, this um, dreaming ride business that, you know, you it's just, yeah, it's part of the ride. Doesn't mean that they're good or bad. It's that's a matter of perspective, and you know, we're still completing the ride. Yeah. All right. We'll leave it at that. There's a bird out the front. Let me know. It's getting pretty late on this ride. Pretty early. Um, and when all's said and done, I'll maybe still be holding my bloody phone pointing at a screen, wondering why. No, maybe not. It's alright. Everything's good. It's just that, well, actually, everything's not good and everything's not bad. How about that? Well, everything just is. Um, yeah, we'll leave it at that. What you make it, possibly, because that's what you're doing anyway. It's me here. I'm back saying the same stuff. Yeah, I don't usually sit and point at magpies' bums, but well, sometimes this ride takes some turns that you didn't see were coming or going, and there was another one. Yeah, yeah. Most love. Yeah, also, I remember he didn't have his eyes weren't there on any of this footage, and beyond his strange robotic fucking behaviour, and the other things. But you know, yeah, all the stuff he admits, well, not, yeah, that's real. That's what there is fairies and elementals, and spirits in the garden. There is in the garden in nature. It's full of it. That's what we are. It's you know, water has. You put your intent into water. What's everything made of? What's everything made of? Water. Where's the real intelligence? Water. That's, you know. Anyhow, just saying something similar to what I was moaning to myself about last night in the same way and going, all right, it looks like a cartoon, and I'm going to leave it at this. I'm not going to say any more. It's already far too long. I am becoming a bore. And I'll be even more annoyed at myself with screen on a screen on a screen, but I'll get over it. We all will. And, yeah, maybe you'll see we'd even possibly agree with what I'm saying. Maybe not, that's alright. Either way, much love. Bye now. This one I'll stop. Didn't start flashing in real speed, by the way. Slowed it down, went, oh, yeah, it's flashing. And it's like rainbow colour flashing. Interesting. Possibly more evidence of the creation machine that we are, while dreaming our way through a situational beam, or number of beams, rays in fact. They come out like rainbows, and when you're sad, sometimes I'm going to say a no-coloured glow, because blue, I like the colour blue. People say blue, so anyhow. Actually, I'll save this. I was going to share something, but more. I think I've shared enough. All right. Good night. Good morning. That's all.
Don't speak. Just keep breathing. Take a deep breath. 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 Take a deep breath and let it go. you make me